You know, I recognize talent. I recognize the great ones, and you know, I just had a moment, and I thought, you know, I'm going to call in, and if it's okay with Frances, because it's her call, I want to bring on this presenter tonight, this trainer, if you want to say, because he is an absolutely brilliant man. We're fortunate to have him on the team and within our company. And let me just share a little bit about Andreas with you this evening. First of all, he's got 11 years in this industry. This is not some rookie. This is a seasoned veteran, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? He's expanded his business into over 10 countries. He's making a whole lot of money. You're going to need a calculator to figure out what this dude makes. And he come to NHT. He's from the networking arena, but he come because of the leadership. He come because of the company's vision. And he saw the opportunity that he could take his talents and double and triple his money. And it's rare you can find somebody of this caliber and say, hey, we got something here for you. And he said, you know what, I'm coming on board with you guys, and let's make this thing rock and smoke. But what I love about his trainings, he talks from the heart. And he talks from experience. He's walked the talk. And he's just a brilliant presenter, a brilliant trainer. That's why I'm on this call tonight. And I can't say enough about this man, so you better have pen in hand. You better have some paper down and really listen with big ears to what he's got to say, because all the stuff he's going to share with you is going to make your journey that much easier tomorrow when you do this business. It's going to fill your pockets with some more information. So without further ado, yes, the Greek, but I'm going to call him Mr. Andreas Papakostas. The call is yours. Take it away. Let's show everybody out there the beauty and wonderment of network marketing. And your topic tonight, I guess, is overcoming daily distractions. Am I correct?
You are 100% correct.
You got it, General. The call's yours.
Awesome. Well, first of all, wow. I appreciate you tremendously, Jeff, and thank you so much for the introduction and your words. And I'm just excited to be a part of NHT Global. Every day as I build my business, I feel like I just joined, because that's how much excitement and real our business is. And it truly is because of the people that are here in NHT Global. You talked about it, Jeff, and Dan Cattle talked about it, and Patrick just talked about it. It's the people, surrounding yourself with the right people so you can, again, model the people that have exactly what it is that you're trying to achieve. And when I was introduced and spent some time with Dan and also Joe when I was comparing 18 companies, it truly was a no-brainer for me to be a part of NHT Global, know that it's a business I could build for the rest of my life and a business that I could also pass down to my kids. That's the business and that's the culture that I wanted to associate myself with. And the more and more I learn about people like you, Jeff, and all the leaders here in NHT Global that contribute to these weekly leadership training calls, I sometimes have to sit and say, wow, I mean, did I really make this decision that so many people are looking for? And the reality is I did. So I am excited, and I'm excited to share with you a topic today which, you know, I could have gone so many different ways on this topic, because this topic could easily be a weekend seminar, but really just decided to pull out a couple of nuggets to help you apply some of these things that will help you build your business immediately after the webinar. But for those of you that are joining us for the first time, you know, first of all, welcome. And these are calls that we do every single Wednesday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have top leaders of NHT Global that cover a different business building topic to help you move your business forward, from tips to ideas to inspirations to trainings to leadership to you name it. It is here for you every single week. So please put it on your planner. Jeff Warcher did a phenomenal training last week, 90-day getting started plan. One of my favorites. And as a matter of fact, I'm in my home office here doing this webinar, and the notes that I took from Jeff last week, I don't know if you can hear it, they're right here sitting in front of me. So you know, I'm a student of the industry, and I continue to learn and soak information from the top leaders of NHT Global. So I'm fortunate to be part of this training, to be able to help each and every one of you take just 2 or 3 things, and hopefully it makes a significant impact. Now, I promise you one thing, that any training that I do comes from my heart, comes from experience, and nothing that I say or do there isn't anything that I teach here in these trainings that I myself don't apply and I myself don't do. So this comes straight from experience, and I'm excited to get going. So overcoming daily distractions, obstacles, challenges, whatever you want to call them, life. That's what we're going to cover today. And, you know, everybody's got the distractions. You know, that is part of life. And I'm going to try to cover as much as I can. I'm going to share some phrases with you, and some of them I'll kind of say them twice because I really want to get it embedded in your brain, in your conscious mind, but also in your subconscious mind. But if you don't control daily distractions, we all have daily distractions, more so now than ever before. If you don't control your daily distractions and challenges, they do become obstacles that you will use as justifiable excuses to not achieve success. I'm going to repeat that. If you don't control your daily distractions, we have distractions, it's how you control them. That's very, very important. If you don't control your daily distractions and challenges, they become obstacles that you will use as justifiable excuses to not achieve success. So, what are these distractions? There's so many of them. We're faced with gossip, email, Facebook, TV, texting, procrastination, life in general, fear. There's so many things that we come across every single day that can prevent us from building our business. Now, everyone has daily distractions. Everyone has daily distractions. No one has more and no one has less than others. Distractions cause unhappiness, prevent wealth creation, prevent you from personally developing and growing. And that's one of the most important aspects of really learning how to control these distractions and how to accept your distractions and know you can continue to move ahead in your business, in your relationships, in whatever it is that you want to achieve in life. They are distractions only if you let them. It's truly a choice. So hopefully some of the examples, some of the solutions I'm going to cover you, it's no secret. All this stuff that I'm going to share with you it's no secret because the top earners have the same distractions or obstacles or challenges that everybody else does. It's what they do with them and how they use them to stay focused and stay ahead so they can continue to do the things that they want in their business and also in life. Now, distractions, they can become habit forming, and habits are one of the most challenging things that people have a hard time changing because it becomes part of us. It becomes part of our routine. It becomes automatic. Television, Facebook, email, not having a plan, gossiping, talking on the phone, texting, video games, or Facebook games. Now, I'm just giving you a couple that came to my mind. There's probably another 30 of them that I'm not mentioning here. But I want to sit and talk to you because, you know, we know a lot of people and that use some of these distractions as reasons why they're not moving ahead. Or if you take a look at some of these distractions, if you can remove them or control them, the amount of time you have on a daily basis can be the difference between you making $300 a month and $3,000 a month. Television. How much television do you watch on a daily basis? So many people are in tune to these shows and the reality shows and even sporting events. Now, I like sporting events and I watch sports, But I don't use the television as an excuse for me not to do the other things that are a priority for me. You see, sometimes you have to give up things that you like in order for you to be able to have them for the rest of your life. And so I choose really wisely, if I'm watching television, that I make sure that all of my activities are done before I go ahead and I watch my sporting events. Facebook, okay? We all, I can't say we all, but there's many people that use Facebook, not just for marketing purposes, but kind of almost like what you would do with a television. You sit and you watch and you read posts, and you get the text message that somebody posted on your wall, and people will even pull over, and some of them don't even pull over, they just do it as they drive, and I see this on a consistent basis. They'll actually stop what they're doing in order for them to see what the post is. They got to make sure that they respond right away, otherwise life ends. It's unbelievable, and these are habits that people don't get, that it's changing really their life and how it can change 5-6 years from now because of the habits that they're forming. You know, you'd go to a dentist office, and it's amazing that, you know, everyone would used to pick up a magazine at a dentist office while they're waiting to be called. And now everybody pulls out their PDA, and it's just like they got to look at Facebook, they got to text somebody, they got to email somebody, they got to respond, they got to do something. They got to be in the now in all this social media that's going on that becomes a distraction, it becomes a habit, it becomes an addiction. And if you can learn how to control that, you have no idea how your life can literally change, but a lot of people will use it as an excuse as they don't have time. But if you take a look at the time that you spend on just Facebook alone, you'll be amazed how much time you can free yourself. And there's nothing wrong with Facebook. I'm on Facebook. I promote on Facebook. I build relationships on Facebook. But I have a certain time that I actually spend, that I put in my planner, that I'm going to invest in Facebook. If somebody puts me a post on there, you know what? It's not urgent for me. If it's urgent, they got a telephone number. They can call me and can let me know that there's an urgency. Email. Back then, people used to spend time waiting and refreshing and checking to see who emails them. Well, now it turned into social media platforms such as Facebook. But don't spend a lot of time on your emails. It's like mail. You don't wait all day for the post office to come so you can go to the post office and see what you got. So make a designated time to spend whatever it is, to read emails and then respond to emails, to reply to emails, and be done with it. A lot of distractions that become habits. People that don't have a plan, they don't create a plan of where they want to go, where they want to be. I'm going to cover this a little bit later on. Gossip. Gosh, this happens on Facebook. This happens with your community. This happens with your neighbors, with family members. And this goes along with talking on the telephone. You know, when I work my NHT Global business, if my mom calls me during that time, Mom, I'm going to give you a call in about an hour if that's okay with you, unless it's urgent. Because I'm building my business. I'm working on my business. And I dedicate my time. When I build my business or work my business, my family members don't bother me. I make it a point that this is my time to build my NHT Global. Just like you have a time with people who have full-time jobs or part-time jobs, when you go to your 9-to-5 job or 10-to-6 job, well, let me just say it right now, most jobs are what? 8 to 8? Okay? You know, you are dedicated to your boss, to your job. You can't text or call or Facebook or do any of that stuff. So when you have your NHT Global business time, make sure that there's no distractions, that it's basically you exposing your business and your opportunity, your products to new people when you do have that time. Texting. Again, you know, just because somebody texts you, you don't have to reply ASAP. And the reason why I'm saying that is because one text turns into 3 texts, 3 texts turn into 5 texts, and then 20 minutes go by, and then there's another a distraction that comes in life. It could be a phone call. It could be something, and then before you know it, 3 hours go by, and guess what? You didn't do diddly squat to advance your life, to build your business. Gosh, I'm not even going to cover video games and Facebooks, all these Farmville, Yeovilles, D-Villes, whatever Villes they are. For me, it's a time waster. Now, a lot of people use that as downtime. If that's what you want to do, great. Spend 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, but guess what? Be done. Be done. Because remember, what you do on a consistent basis becomes a habit, and if you spend 3 or 4 hours on a consistent basis doing things that have absolutely nothing to do with you building a business, well, you know, you can't complain about not moving ahead with your NHT Global business. Now, distractions that are created by your self-talk. And these are the distractions that I think are more important, and also the reason why maybe some people may not be moving ahead in their business, in their life, in their relationships. And usually your self-talk, the talk that goes in between your ears, has to do with fear, self-doubt, self-belief, self-worth. These are the things that you think of on a daily basis, the talk that you have to yourself every minute of the day. And that's really going to dictate where you're going to go with your NHT Global business. Now, these are all based on your experience, your past history, and really the lies you tell yourself internally as to why you are not moving ahead. When you have fear, self-doubt, low self-belief, low self-worth, you are going to tell lies to yourself internally as to why you are not moving ahead. And that is the biggest distraction that causes people to be unhappy, causes people to not create wealth, and causes people not to move ahead personally and professionally. So how can you change all that? Well, you know, this is something that you'll hear our top leaders talk about, and it's interesting because when you hear our weekly Wednesday night leadership training call, there's always a commonality in our leadership. You heard a little bit today, even in our presentation by Francis. You heard it from Dan. You heard it from Patrick. You heard it from Jeff. If your why and your purpose are clear, you can overcome anything. I'm going to repeat that. If your why, your purpose are clear, you can overcome anything. Now, if you're watching the slides right now, the webinar, I posted a picture of my, I don't call it a dream board, because, you know, dreaming is great and everybody needs to be dreaming on a daily basis. But dreams sometimes for some people is a fantasy, you know, they may not. This is my reality board. That's what I call it. And everyone needs to have a reality board. Now, I'll explain to you why and how that plays a role with your distractions and how you can overcome them. But I've harped on this on previous trainings. You hear leaders harp on this. And again, this is no secret. This is no secret. And I'll tell you, this is one of the most important parts of making sure that you actually do this. And you'll see, and you can talk to the leaders about this, you'll see how the distractions and the obstacles that you face on a daily basis will not be used as excuses as to why you cannot move your NHT Global business. Now, as you can see, my family's there in the middle. Now, again, I have a detailed version of my reality board. This is one that I have in my office. I have in my car. I see this on a daily basis. And this is my why. It's my purpose. It's the things that I want to accomplish. It's the things that I want to do. And you have to have the end in mind. You have to have that video that you play every single day in your head. Not so much of what you want, but that video, you have to play it as if you are already living it. How are you feeling when you have the 3 real estate properties? You've traveled to the destinations that you wanted. How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? You need to play that every single day in your head. Why? What is your why? What is your purpose? What do you want to accomplish with NHT Global? Where do you want to be 5 years from now? What are your goals? What do you dream about? What do you want to have a reality? And the problem is that many people deviate. They skip this. And let me tell you this. This is one of the first steps that we teach people the moment they join NHT Global. What is it? Filling out a goal sheet. What is their why? What is their purpose? And here's the important thing is that you need to see it. You need to feel it. You need to be living it. And when you see that, you got to be emotional. Like I'm at right now, I got goosebumps right now because I play my video not just once a day. I play it every single hour on the hour because I take the time to do that. It's in front of me. I see it. I believe it. I watch it. I'm playing it. I'm living it. And this is something that if you take a look at people who allow distractions to take over and to use as excuses, they did not spend enough time having an end in mind. This is very, very important. And so many people skip this, or they'll complete it and then put it aside and say, okay, I'm done with that. What's step number 2? But I'll tell you this, and this is my opinion, and I'm sure I'm speaking for the top leaders, not just in NHT Global, but top leaders in the industry. They would probably agree and say that 99% of people that are successful in this industry, that do not allow the distractions, the obstacles, and the challenges, because again, we all have that on a consistent basis, on a daily basis. That's what we call life. That if you have a why big enough that you can see, feel, live, and make you emotional, you can overcome all your distractions. And I'm spending time on this because there's many people who don't spend the time to do this. Or they want to, but they just don't know how. Well, I encourage you to get to your sponsor, to your upline leader, to your leaders, to Joe, to Dan, Patrick, Jeff, whoever, Francis, Jamie, anyone in your organization to sit down and go over your goal, your dreams, and your purpose and what you want to get out of your NHT Global business. Where do you want to be 2 years from now? Where do you want to be 5 years from now? Where do you see yourself 20 years from now? You need to be able to create the image. You need to be able to make it detailed, okay, where you know the color, you know the texture, you know the atmosphere, and you're feeling it and you're living it. This is very important. This is step number 1 because the solutions and some of the things that I'm going to share with you in the next slides of how you can also overcome some obstacles, some of the distractions will not matter if you don't understand this portion. So this is very important. So those listening right now, if you do not have a reality board, if you do not have a detailed reason of where you want to be, what you want to do with NHT Global, you're going to allow your distractions and your obstacles, which turn into excuses, which turn into habits, which will not allow you to move your business forward. It's that simple. It's that powerful. So, you know, I don't want to spend too much time on that because I got a couple other slides I want to go over because this is 99.9% important to understand that will allow you to overcome all the obstacles that everybody will face on a daily basis that comes to us because that's what life's all about. So, this is critical in order for you to overcome these distractions daily, whether you want to call them challenges or obstacles. We all have them. And again, I'm putting this up here in the upper right-hand corner because this is very important, okay? Goal sheet. You want to overcome your daily distractions and not use them as obstacles or challenges that you can use for excuses as not to work your business. You must have a goal sheet, okay? I'm just going to cover some highlights here. There could be some other things that, again, may pertain. I'm just giving you some little nuggets here that if you have not completed any of these, I encourage you that you write these down on a piece of paper, whichever you did not do or whichever you need to spend more time on. I encourage you to write this on a piece of paper and go over it with your sponsor, not next week, not next month, tonight if possible, by the latest tomorrow. Goal sheet. What are your goals? SteamTeam.ca. Print down the goal sheet. Complete it if you haven't. Make sure it's detailed. It's not just some general stuff that you want to accomplish. It's detailed stuff. And if you don't know how to do that, I guarantee you that the person who enrolled you will help you. And if not, the leaders and the leaders of NHT Global will allow you and help you make sure that you make it detailed enough that you're able to move forward in your business and not allow these distractions to, again, form habits which will, again, disallow you to move your business forward. So this is very important. Again, if you take a look at what I'm sharing with you, these are the things that we are covering with new distributors who join us. These are the must-dos when you're starting your business, so that way you're able to overcome any distraction and obstacles and challenges and objections and all that stuff in regards to building your business. Reality board. You got to have a reality board. Okay, I just gave you a general one. I do have a specific one. I didn't have a chance to scan it and put it in slides here, but I have them all over. Okay, I play that movie. Well, what you want? Where do you want to live? What's the color of your carpet? What's the color of your marble countertop? Is it a 2-floor? Is it a 1-floor? Do you have a basement? Is it a walkout basement? Do you have grass in the back? Do you have rocks? Are you in a cul-de-sac? Where are you living? Man, the more specific you can become, then what you're doing is that subconscious mind takes that picture, and guess what it does? It starts going to work. And that's why you need to see it and you need to play it every single day. And the problem is, well, people look at their reality board and they're like, gosh, that would be great if I can have one of these. I'll put it down there. But you know what? I hope I can do it. I'll tell you what, right now, I'm telling you right now, you ain't getting it. Okay? You need to put it down. You need to look at it and saying, that's mine. I already have it. I own it, and I'm going to have it in 2 years, 3 years, next month, 3 months. And you need to be playing that on a daily basis. Not whenever you feel like it. It's got to be part of your daily routine. Activity management, not time management. This is a topic I'm probably going to do on another leadership call in detail because this is very important. But I'm just going to, again, just cover just some nuggets here. I don't like to call it time management because the reality is we cannot manage time. Okay? We can't manage time. We can manage the activities that we do with the time that we have. Everybody has 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. What you do with that time is what you can manage. So that's very important. Do you have a activity management sheet? A lot of people like to call it a time management sheet. Again, I put down activity management sheet. When are you working your NHT Global business? Again, these are one of these aspects of your getting started training that, again, a lot of people either skip or they deviate from. And I'm telling you, we have the formula. If you just complete it, that you're on your way to building a massive organization here at NHT Global. Activity. When are you working your NHT Global business? Do you have time allowed in your planner? Is it steady? Or is it, I don't know, whenever I feel like it? Do you have blocked out an hour a day or during lunchtime or that half hour on the way home, whatever it is, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, whatever it is? Do you have it out? Did you take the time to do that? Now, a lot of people will work their business whenever they get a chance to, when they're out and about. That's plus. That's extra. That's great. But a time where you are calling people, exposing your opportunity and your products to new people, and the follow-ups that you're going to be doing on a consistent basis. If you don't have an activity management planner for your NHT Global business, you're going to have a very hard time building your business. Working with your enroller. How often are you working with your sponsor? How often are you working with somebody in your upline, your business partner, workout partner? This is very important. Again, this could be another topic in itself, but you need to work out with somebody. You need to be accountable to somebody. You need to be associated and affiliated with somebody who's active and doing the things that we're teaching you here in these weekly leadership training. Who are you working out with on a consistent basis? I hope you're not saying once a week or once every other week. It's your responsibility, yours. Not your sponsors, not your business partners upline. It is your responsibility to contact and schedule times to be connecting with them on a consistent basis. Maybe make it a weekly thing on your planner, maybe 3 times a week. I'm on the phone with Joe Garcia gosh, sometimes 4 times a day. Okay? He is my business partner. I'm working out with him. I'm running ideas by him. I'm doing 3-ways with him. He's my business partner. So it's very important that you're doing that. Why? Because when you have things come up throughout the day, distractions, obstacles, challenges, they will refocus you on the things that you want to accomplish in life. I guarantee you that. It's very important. So that's why you got to stay engaged. You got to show up. You got to get on our weekly leadership calls. You got to get on our opportunity calls, on our webinars. You got to visit the steamteam.ca training site. You got to be able to do any local events in your area or attend local events in your area. These are things that when you stay engaged, you are connected to your purpose. You're connected to your why. You're surrounded with the right people, and your distractions can be controlled and not used as excuses to not move ahead. So you got to remove yourself from negativity. What do I mean by that? Well, you got to remove yourself from people that don't align with your visions, your values, your morals, your ethics. You got to do that. And unfortunately, sometimes these people have the same last name as you do. I've removed people. I love them. I care about them. I will spend some time with them, but they're not going to spend time with me when I'm working my NHT Global business. Period. End of the story. What do you read? What do you listen to? What do you watch in regards to self-growth programs? I mean, this is something that you have to do. This is not optional or non-mandatory. You need to be reading, listening, and watching self-growth programs that develop you personally, which will allow you to develop professionally. This is one of the highlights of NHT Global is that, we have all the training and the skills and the things you need to know to build your business. But what we excel in more than any other company, more than any other leaders, is that we help you grow personally, which will automatically help you build professionally. That is so key here. So what are you reading? What are you watching? What are you listening to? And are you doing it on a consistent basis? Stay focused. Guys, can we spend time on just that? Staying focused. Well, how do you stay focused? Well, again, if you have a goal sheet, you have a rally board, you have planned your activities to do on a daily basis, and you're working with your enroller, and you're staying engaged, and you're removing yourself from negativity, guess what? You'll stay focused. If you don't, you will not stay focused. And distractions will creep up. You won't be able to control them. And again, you're back to square one. So what are the things that you can do, okay, in order to fit that in your activity management, okay? Because everybody can do it, and I don't care if you have 2 full-time jobs. If your purpose and your why is big enough and emotional enough, and you can see it and you can play it and you want it and it's real and it's detailed, guess what? You will find the way. And I'm going to give you a little bit of those solutions as far as how to find a way. Get up early. Get up early. You don't have to get up 3 hours early. Get up early. Half hour, 1 hour, whatever it is. You get up 1 hour early 5 days a week, you have 5 hours extra that you didn't have. And 1 hour early, everybody can get up 1 hour early. But I'll tell you what, if you keep pressing that snooze button, you know what that tells me? That tells me you don't really have a big enough why. If when that alarm clock gets up and you don't get out of bed ready to start your day, you don't have a reason to get up. You don't have a big why. You don't have a purpose. So what do? You got to go back and discover what it is that you want to get out of that business and work it with your sponsor and make sure it's detailed enough. And again, I'm covering the same things. As you can see, it goes back to the same things. So get up early to go over your plan for the day, what you're going to do for the day for your NHT Global business. Don't go to bed before you lay out tomorrow's plan. Very simple. Before you go to bed, you can spend 15 minutes, 20 minutes, a half hour, okay, and write down the new people you're going to contact tomorrow, the new things that you're going to do to expose your business tomorrow, the time that you're going to connect with your upline sponsor tomorrow. Write it down. Put it in paper. Put it in your activity management plan. And guess what? You wake up in the morning, it's all laid out for you. Spend 10 minutes every day playing your movie. And I'm so serious about this. Again, this is no secret. You talk to your upline sponsor. You got to play where you want to be 5 years from now, and you got to be playing the movie as if you're already experiencing. You're living it. It's there. You're feeling it. You got to do that every day. Not whenever you have time, because you have to make time for this, because I'm telling you, that's one of the ways for you to become successful. It's one of the ways for you to control the distractions that you're going to get on a daily basis. Always ask yourself, is this activity that I am doing or not doing moving me closer or further away from achieving my goals? Is watching TV right now when I could be maybe exposing my business to 2 new people, is watching TV moving me closer to my goals or farther away from my goals? I mean, think about that. These are things that you can do on every activity that you do on a daily basis. Now, listen, there's a lot of things that we have to do. They may be distractions, but it's life. There's things that you have to do. They're priorities. Like, you got to clean your clothes. You got to feed your kids. You got to cook. You got to do these things. And I'm not saying that you can't do these things, but if you stay focused and you plan your activities throughout the day, you can do it all. Track what you're doing daily for your business. I know so many people want to ask, well, whatever happened to that person that you did a 3-way with me 3 weeks ago? You know, I don't know. I kind of wrote it down somewhere. It was on a sticky note. I lost my, and I said, this is $1 million business. You can't treat your $1 million business on sticky notes. So, track your business. Get a spreadsheet. Put it on your planner. Put a whiteboard up there. Make sure you're tracking who you're talking to, what they're saying, where you're connecting with them again. You gotta treat this business as $1 billion business, okay? Because what happens is if you don't, your mind is kind of like all over the place, and that could be a distraction. And guess what? You decide that you'll figure it out the next day. And guess what? Is that activity moving you closer to your goal or farther away from your goal? Commit to your activity management. If you put down you're going to work your business from 6 to 7, you make sure you work your business from 6 to 7. Not 6:15 to 7, from 6 to 7. Just like you made a commitment to be at your work at 9 a.m., you wouldn't dare show at your work at 9:15. So why should you treat your business that will pay you a lifetime any different? So, this is a slide that I did in one of my trainings a few months ago, and it's very relative to what we're talking about here. So I decided to put it up again to show you how certain things kind of combine together with different leadership trainings that we teach. And here, I didn't change the slide at all, but here I talked about the end in mind video. You got to have a big why, your purpose, goals, and dreams. And here you are, here's you in your NHT Global vehicle, and these are all challenges and distractions, car issues and relationship issues and the rejections you may get and health issues and money and again, these are things that I talked about in regards to challenges, but they may distract you. And again, this goes down to your self-belief and self-doubt, and the challenges and obstacles of life will be used as justifiable excuses, and this actually sounds very similar to what I say, and I didn't even copy this, but the challenges and obstacles of life will be used as justifiable excuses to why you cannot be productive or succeed in business or life if your end in mind is not detailed and emotional. And so when your end in mind video is detailed and it's emotional, like we talked about, it provides this shield. It's a shield of protection over your NHT Global vehicle, so you're able to handle those distractions, those obstacles, those challenges, and still move ahead towards that destination of where you want to be. So, when you have no end in mind to work towards, the obstacles of life become the excuses and then the norm as to why you are where you are today. You then allow and attract more distractions that you can use to excuse yourself from achieving greatness. Now, I want to end with the story of how, I hear some background noises. If you can mute yourself, that would be great. So I want to end with my story here and share with you how I overcome some of my obstacles and distractions back in 2003 when my father passed away. You know, when my father passed away in 2003, it was about a year and a half, 2 years of a struggle where my dad was deteriorating at home. I was traveling, frequently 50 miles to visit him, consistently from hospitals to home. And you know, it was very stressful to my family, of course, and you know, it was just obstacle after obstacle, distractions, and I wanted to kind of shorten the story and just share with you that when my dad passed away, we had a double funeral. We had a funeral here in Chicago, and I also coordinated a funeral where he wanted to be buried in his village back in our home in Greece. So trying to coordinate a funeral from here was connecting with my cousin. We had to get, it was nonstop. Let's just say the obstacles and the challenges were so great, but I made a promise to my dad that just know that when the time comes, you will have your wish. And I didn't allow the challenges and some of the things I said that we couldn't do to take me away from the focus and the promise that I made to my dad. And so not only did we have a funeral here, which was very hard for us, we then flew out there. We had a funeral over there. I had to leave my wife. I had to leave my kids. At the time, I owned a successful business where I was working 80 hours a week. And at the time, I was building my first network marketing company. And long story short, during those 3 tough months, I want to let everybody know that I advanced 3 titles during those 3 months in my previous company. And did I have the worst obstacles and challenges and distractions? Up till this day, were probably one of the most difficult obstacles I had to face in my life. But yet I didn't allow those to take me away from the focus and the dedication and the commitment that I had to myself and my family, which is to continue to grow my business and build my fortune. And I advanced 3 titles, and it was very hard in 1 month to advance 1 title, and in 3 months I advanced 3. So I share that with you because it goes back to that end in mind. When you have an end in mind so strong that you want it, you believe it, and it's detailed, and it makes you emotional when you think about it, there is nothing you cannot do with your NHT Global business, especially because we have the best, and I'm going to say it again, the best leaders, and in our co-founder master distributors, Joe Garcia and Dan Cato. I cannot say enough about these 2 individuals, that there is nothing you cannot accomplish in your life with our NHT Global vehicle. So I hope everybody got some good information, some nuggets that you can share, that you can use. I've recorded this training, so hopefully it will be up on steamteam.ca. So I want to thank everybody for joining us here today, and please tune in next week, same time, same place, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our next great leadership training. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we'll hear you again next week. Good night, everyone.